Why the right people are not in the right job? Well, the common sense suggests that right people should be in the right job. But when we look at closely, we see that there is a big mismatch. And do you know why? The simple reason for this is the leader who is driving the business. When a leader is failing to discriminate between strong and weak performers, and he or she is promoting people with whom they are comfortable with, this leads to a situation that wrong people are coming for the right job. Not only that, when the leader doesn't show the intent, doesn't show its involvement both spiritually, emotionally, and also falling on the performance criterias, you see that there is a wrong hires that are coming into the system, and which leads to poor business results, lack of motivation with people, lack of their engagement and involvement in the work. Well, friends, today I'm going to talk about a very important topic in this leadership journey, that why right people are not in the right jobs. And in this video, we are also going to learn what are the reasons for which the leaders who are driving the business make that mistake very often. Now let's talk about some of the factors that lead to having the wrong people in the first place. The number one is lack of knowledge. A lot of leaders rely on the appraisal feedback given by their managers, and generally it is based on the criterias which are not defined clearly. So a lot of time you will find that the managers telling their leader, let's say for example, Mr. X is an excellent performer. He is a guy who is a great motivator. He is a guy who gels with people very well, and he can influence a lot of people. In fact, if you look closely, the manager himself is not sure about what are the criteria that will qualify that particular Mr. X for the future job role. Has the manager really defined what are the criteria that would be needed for Mr. X to do well in those situations in that job that will make him successful? And in the absence of that knowledge, it is mostly the impression that this guy is a performer, motivator, gets along with people well, takes the front seat, and the leader finally decides that okay, this person can be a good person who can be promoted for the next level. If that is the case, then you see that there isn't a right person for the right job, because when this person will take over the job, he would not know what are the complexities of the job, how to solve problems, how to deal with people, how to set goals and objectives looking at the vision of the organization. When these pieces are missing, it simply means that you will have a failure at the manager level. And the person who is responsible for is the leader who did not pay attention at the first place in setting the right non-negotiable criteria that are most important for the future role that person is applying. The second factor is lack of courage. I'm sure a lot of people know in any given organization there are people who are not fit for that role, but they continue to remain in that seat or a position for a longer period of time. And the biggest reason for that is the manager's leader doesn't have the courage to confront that particular manager on the areas of development or even areas of non-performance. Therefore, because of this lack of courage, the manager continues to do the same work again and again, and which finally leads to poor business results, poor people processes, and most importantly, lack of motivation amongst people. And the higher that degree is of non-performance, the higher are the chances that business results are going to suffer. So if leader doesn't have that courage to look into the eye of their manager and talk about the non-performance, that talk about those emotional outbursts that manager is making, nothing gonna change. And because of this lack of courage, there are wrong people sitting at the right position. So if you want to be an excellent and a great leader, you should be able to tell what's right, what's wrong, what's black or white. Don't live in the gray area. And once you have the courage to look into the eye of the person. You should be very clearly narrating out the action plan with the clear timelines of improvement, and then you see that person who is sitting on that chair is going to run, is going to make changes. And if that person is not going to make changes, the only way out is the person has to exit. But the question is, how many leaders have that kind of courage to go ahead and take such bold actions? The third factor is called the psychological comfort. I have personally seen that a lot of managers get promoted just because the leader is comfortable with those managers. What does it mean by comfortable? It simply means that these are those people who doesn't question the leader, who just accept the judgment of the leader as an order, and they are always saying yes to that man. That is why such leaders will have a lot of people around them which are called yes man. When you have a lot of yes men around you, you will see a lot of psychophancy happening around that particular leader, and then the one who is more closer to the boss or the manager gets promoted. And that is what I mean to say psychological comfort. These are those people, when the leader finds them, they do not challenge his thinking process, who aligns with them, that builds loyalty. And under that loyalty, the leader forgets to understand what are the challenges ahead in the job and eventually promotes people who are highly loyal to them. If you are such a leader who is only looking at loyalty because everyone is saying yes to your point of view, rather than challenging and bringing the best out of the conversation, you're gonna land up with the wrong hire and a wrong promotee in the system, and that is what will fail eventually over a period of time, and you will find the business is in crisis. So work around your psychological comfort factor, that you are going to hire the person or you are going to promote a person who will fit the job, not who is loyal to you. When the right people are not in the right job, it is evidently visible and transparent. And a lot of leaders intuitively acknowledge it. Not only that, they understand that there is a problem, but very few would be able to work on it, while a majority of them don't even think about fixing that problem. If you have a person who is not in the right job, it is the responsibility of you as a leader in the first place to spend a lot of time in selecting, appraising, and developing your people. In fact, in my opinion, at least 40 to 50% of your time should be going only on this criteria, that you select, you appraise, and you develop a particular individual under your team to an extent that he or she can succeed you. That is one of the most important role of a leader. Or in other words, we can also say that the amount of time that you put in building strategy, building financial control, building processes, you should be working a lot of time in ensuring that people development is taking at the right pace, with the right intent, and with the right focus. If you are able to put your right time on your people, you will see that the results would be unbelievable. Your people are going to do the work for you. But for that, you have to take the intent, your emotional energy, your physical energy, and your entire focus should be on this particular piece. Because that's the most important resource that you have, which you really need to work upon so that they can contribute to your success. Well, I'm sure you would agree that as a leader, you have so many responsibilities to fulfill, because you are the face not only to your people, but also to your organization, also to your clients and customers. How you deal with hiring people, promoting people, understanding what are the challenges that are going to be in future, and preparing your people for the same is your prime job as a leader. Well, thank you so much for listening to this video. I'm sure you would have gained some insights about that, why right people are not in the right job, and what all as a leader you have to do to ensure in bringing your entire conscience, your entire focus to get the best out of the people and give best to the industry, to your organization to achieve business results. Thank you for watching me, and don't forget to like and subscribe this channel and share your comments below in the comment section. I would love to reply back to you personally. Thanks a lot.